It is so cool seeing like people be themselves. It's refreshing because a lot of the times people kind of get caught up in the fashion contest of music. And I think that the fact that people are like actually being themselves and doing stuff for them and putting out something that they made on GarageBand and being stoked that it has like 100 listeners, that is sick. And these young cats are literally selling out venues. What we have right now in this little niche of a scene is rare, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it.
Real quick before we start, I just wanted to mention that we do these podcast recordings live on Twitch. It's kind of a cool way for you guys to be a part of the conversation, as well as see the behind the scenes and the uncut versions of these episodes. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribing, leaving a comment, liking the video, all that stuff goes a long way. Same goes for leaving a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We have a striving community on Discord if you want to chat with other like-minded deathcore enjoyers, as well as just staying up to date with everything that's going on with the podcast. Last but not least, if you want to support the podcast, I'll be leaving a link down in the description wherever you are watching or listening on how you can do so, as well as links to everything else that I just talked about. With that out of the way, enjoy this episode. Welcome to episode 61 of the Brutality podcast. My name is Dom, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host Yan. And this week, we have the pleasure of talking to ZADAK Brooks. My man, welcome to the show. How are we doing?
What's going on? I wish I wrote that intro. That was sick.
Hey, I mean, you got 61 episodes of practice, I guess, plus the practice I did in the mirror. So
my favorite ones were the one that the intro didn't work and it just went in. That was absolutely amazing.
We've had a few where the guest was muted or stuff like that. So
I'm here. Yep. Everything's good.
No, it's working well. It's awesome. Sick mug, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted
to mention. This is my favorite mug ever.
That does look really sick. For anyone audio listeners, it's what is it? It's like an angel, like a stone angel type of thing with ooze on the top.
It's the Exorcist.
The Exorcist. I didn't realize that's what it was. There we go.
Yeah,
and it's a classic visual.
Yeah, this was like I don't want to go into a tangent already, but this was like the scariest. This was like the scariest thing to me as a kid. Like growing up, if I saw that face, I would like shut down, sob. So this is big for me, being able to sip out of this thing.
You want to remember basically how you felt on a daily basis. You're I want to keep that in mind.
Just the proof. It's a proof of overcoming the fear.
Oh yeah, it's a big step up. Big step up in my life.
But you have a good point though. Like when that came out, like I feel like people forget that, but like it was a long time ago, and people were definitely not used to have like crazy things like that in a movie. It was definitely like a big hit, and as a kid too, when I saw that, like I wouldn't even watch it. If I'm honest with you, like people wanted to watch it, I was like, I'm not watching that. Like
no way. There's no shot.
Nope. It was terrifying. So no, but that's the first thing I noticed, and I'm like, I need to mention it right now, because if I mention it later on and we don't see his mug, I'm gonna look like a crazy person for thinking he has a mug. So I just
remember that mug from like an hour ago. Is that real?
Yep. And I'm telling you, dude, my brain works like that. We're gonna be talking about completely something else, and I'm gonna be like, oh, the mug. I'm gonna be like, hey, by the way, good mug, and people are gonna be like, what is he? What? Like, what are you talking about?
I'm the same way, man.
So. Okay.
I'm the same way.
I love it.
You get it. Perfect.
I do.
Man, okay. With the main reason, we got so much we can tap into today. I feel like, but the reason I initially hit you up to see about doing this episode with you, Damage Over Time.
Damage Over Time.
The brand new. I've been calling it Spin Kick Deathcore. I don't know what you guys would be the specific branding.
It's a good name. It's a pretty good name.
That's what it makes me feel like I want to do. Or music to punch your friends to.
Yeah, hard.
hard.
punch 'em hard.
It goes hard.
Dude,
yeah. So
no, but yeah. So no, I've listened to it, dude, today, and I wasn't ready for that. Like, I just wasn't ready for that. Like, you killed it, dude. I'm just gonna let them talking, but like, really killed it. Freaking amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys kind of like stealthily dropped like, hey, we're doing this new band with a few other cool people in it as well, other people involved from other bands within the scene that I think are really cool. Didn't really mention much of it, and then dropped the demo the next day, and that was 2 days ago. So I'd love to I'd love to kind of talk about all that. Had you guys been working on this for a while now? I know you talked about a story about going to a show with Andy and remembering how deathcore is where you kind of like fell in love with music and stuff like that. So tell me a little bit about the inception of this whole thing.
Word. So there was that tour that recently happened with Girl of Glass, Surfaced, and Tracheotomy. And that rolled through Webster Theater in Hartford. And I wasn't going to go, like, just because I haven't gone to a show in a while and was just kind of like focusing on work and stuff. But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go. I'll get out of my house. Like, I'll go to the show. So Andy went, we met up. But yeah, like we were talking about kind of like the revival scene and all this like MySpace stuff that's happening. And he brought up the Defector EP, which real ones know, I guess, are long timers of what I do. That's the first ever Boundaries EP, and it was just like a 7-string drop F deathcore fucking like dun 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 thing,
which is like, pretty different from what Boundaries does now, right? Right.
Oh, dude, it's gone all through the ropes. But like initially, it was just like moshing music, but like really low tuning stuff, because that's what was popping at the time. But yeah, I guess like he was kind of just going into like detail about like how kids in like Surfaced and like all like the younger cats in music like look up to that record. And I was like, that's weird, because how do people even know about that record? Because it was such a unique little niche moment in the band that like, it was weird to think that people like knew about it still. And
right.
like,
it's not like what made the band popular either. It's not like,
right. It was weird because it kind of did a little bit. It was like, I think we put it on like Slam Worldwide and at the time. So like it got like a lot of views off of it, just because it was like a promotion thing. But like it kept going and it kept going. And we were kind of just like, do we want to do this anymore? 7 strings hurt my hands. Let's go to 6, we'll figure it out differently. But yeah, just talking about like Defector and like, it's weird. Like the, how like people in the 90s are always talking about how like the 70s were coming back and like the 80s were coming back, and then you keep going and now the 90s are coming back. Like me and Andy started to kind of notice that like we were the old heads a little bit.
Oh, we are.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. And like all of these younger kids are coming in and everything's kind of like restarting, and it's really cool to see. And yeah, like I know it's like a revival kind of thing, but it's really cool to see something fresh. And like people are coming out to these shows and people are like really, really like they're hard focusing on just what they enjoy. Like it's not making music to be a part of like a niche or to like be a part of what's cool right now. It's like, this is what the kids like and they're making the music and it's working. And it was really neat. So then we started a band.
Yeah. So what was, what were those initial like conversations like? Was that really just you and Andy? Like, did you guys bring other people in like immediately as well? Inspo, like what was going on there?
So like, I think that day we were like, let's just start a band. Like, fuck it, let's do it. And it wasn't like actually gonna happen. We were like, let's just start a project. That would be fun. But at that time, specifically for me, doing music related things again wasn't necessarily on my like plate at the time. I just kind of wanted to focus on work and like life for a little bit. But then I started writing stuff and I was like, oh shit, wait, this is fun. I forgot about that, you know? But yeah, it was like the day of that show, we're just like walking around and we're like, yo, Jason, want to be in this band? We're going to do it. And he's like, bro, probably not, you know, like, but we're just like fucking around, like talking to everybody. Like the idea was proposed, but we weren't going to do it, I don't think. And then like, I think like it might've been like a couple days later, my partner, I was talking to her about it and I was like, if we did this, would you play bass? And she's like, yeah, sure. Cause she played bass in Centralia, which was like our, like
post-hardcore,
emo, post-hardcore project. Cool. Yeah. And so we were going to do another band. And then Andy was like, oh shit, I don't really play guitar like that. I was going to play bass. And I was like, all right, we'll learn how to play guitar. Like, let's run it, you know? So it all just started happening, going. We picked up Wayne McCadlow, and we started the band. That was kind of the beginning.
Is Wayne the vocalist?
So it's actually a 2-vocalist band.
Okay.
So it's me and Wayne are doing vocals. Kalina's playing bass. Andy's playing guitar. We have a second guitar. We're talking to a second guitarist that we're figuring out if it'll work. And also a drummer that I don't want to say anything yet.
Yeah.
You know, because like it might be a thing. It might not. I think if people knew, they'd be like, holy fucking shit. So like, I don't want to do that yet, you know, but yeah.
TBA. Yeah. But then, so I guess my main question out of like that sort of scenario is like, you guys could have probably easily done a 2-person project on the side and not played shows or anything like that. Having other members involved, was it for the creative process as well, or was it with the idea of playing shows? Like what's the, I don't want to jump ahead too far necessarily, but like what's the gist on that?
We want to play shows, man. Shows are dope.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing better than playing a show. And I think when we started it was immediately with the intent of playing shows again. So getting members was like kind of the idea, like off rip.
Yeah.
But when it came to the creative process, it was just like sitting on Discord and writing a record really quick. And then finding members it was hard because we had people that we were talking to, trying to figure it out a little bit, but we didn't know if it was going to work. We didn't know, like, you know, if we were going to release it and people would care, and like if we would end up playing shows. So we kind of had it in our head, but we didn't really like you said, like we didn't jump too far. The expectation
wasn't there necessarily. Yeah.
Right. Because realistically, it was just to do something that we like, you know, and something that we grew up on. So we just wanted to make something. And if shows happen, they happen, and hopefully they're sick. And hopefully people are kicking and beating people up and shit.
The first thing that came to mind when I heard, which is a big compliment, by the way, was my mind went to, like, it was a middle between Psycho Frame and Jerome for me when I heard it, which is the biggest compliment I think I can give like someone in music. And not to say that you sound like you know what I mean? Like it's your own thing. But I'm just saying, like, that's where, like, because I love hardcore and deathcore, you know, like I really, like, I feel like it's missing in a lot of deathcore, and
I agree.
I love that you guys even did some, I would call it hardcore vocals, right? Like which really matched the tone and really, like, the example I have in mind is Despised Icon, right? Like they would switch from big squeals to go back in the hardcore mode. And I feel like you guys are doing that really well. Like you travel from something really brutal, breakdowns and stuff, and you go back in hardcore music.
Two steps and the whole thing.
Exactly. I'm guessing from the get-go, it was kind of your, like, you guys were probably like, let's bring old school, you know, mix between deathcore. Can you talk a little bit about about the importance of hardcore and
of course
in your project?
Yeah, I mean, we all came from hardcore roots as well, you know. Like growing up in Connecticut, like my journey through music is so fucking vast and all over the place, but the one thing that truly stuck was hardcore. And so that's something that we're all a part of. And so even like little hints of like two steps, vocal style, this and that, it's like it's hard to write something and not include things that are like hardcore-ish, you know? Like we all come from like metalcore, hardcore background. Because I want to say this without sounding like mean, but like there is a point in deathcore where it was hard for me to enjoy it, because there was like, it seemed like it kind of did one of these where it was like the old school sound and then like a little more of like a polished sound that I just personally wasn't into. So then it kind of went into like, I just stayed on like the metalcore hardcore side, you know. And but then like you'll never catch me not listening to Suicide Silence. You won't catch me never listening to Whitechapel again, you know, like the shit that I grew up with. Like that is where my head is at. So when it came to writing this, it was like everything that's in my brain is like hardcore, fucking Family Guy EP, Suicide Silence, fucking Jerome, you know, shit. Life Ruiner.
I don't know if you.
Yeah, dude. Life Ruiner is huge.
Yep.
Fucking Float Face Down. Like that's the stuff that we came up on. Like Chase Through the Woods, Waking the Cadaver. Dude. Like that's where our head is at. And it's where it's always been at, because that's what was playing on my shitty little iPod Shuffle when I was a kid, you know? So, yeah, man. I think that's why it all encapsulates into that sound.
Yeah, and I feel like it's translated. You were talking about the goal is playing shows, right? Like, to me, and I'm talking for myself, but it's not even close. Like deathcore without hardcore live to me is never going to be as fun as, you know, like two steps is such an important part of, you know, like think about a crowd, right? Like think about someone who maybe never went to a show like that and don't really know what to expect. It's fun to blast, but if you blast the whole time, like honestly, people don't know what to do on that. They're just like, oh, that's cool. But when you throw something bouncy, and you guys have definitely have those parts. I was on my computer, like, so like I feel like it's hard to explain.
You can't see it, but there's a hole in the wall beside you.
Yeah, no, I was just like, it's a really good sign. If I go like by myself and I'm like, oh my god. And like I feel like that's something that's really important in life, because that's something that everyone just enjoys on the same level, like and you can tell just by the reaction. You go to, I know I'm gonna go in another territory, but like I also love metalcore, like August Burns Reds and stuff like that. Like I'm a big fan of that as well. And
bouncy breakdowns.
Yes, and they're my favorite for my break. Like anybody who ever heard what I'm doing musically, it's like, okay, he loves August Burns Red, we get it. But it's like you hear the riffs and they're good and they're melodic, but look at the reaction in the crowd as soon as they switch in a breakdown. Like it changed the entire room of the play. And so I feel like it's the same thing for deathcore music, right? Like I've seen both.
Agreed.
I've seen deathcore with hardcore. I've seen deathcore without it, kind of. And the second one is more like people are like they're just watching with their phone. And if you watch the deathcore with hardcore, people are going crazy. That's my take on it.
I get that. Yeah, I feel like the side that like doesn't have like the influence of like hardcore and metalcore, it's kind of like the showgoer experience where like you want to go and be like, holy shit, that guy could play his guitar. Holy fuck, how does he play that fast? You know?
Yeah.
And that's dope. That's really cool. But if I'm going to a show, like me personally, if I'm going to a show and I have like shin splints because I'm just standing there because nothing is getting me to move, you know what I mean? Like I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to explode. I need to do something.
There you
go. and maybe that's the ADHD talking, I don't know, but like I need to bounce, I need to move, I need to be running side to side, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just from like coming up in that side of music where that's like super important to us. But yeah, man, like I don't want people to have their phones out. You could, I don't care, but like, you know, if somebody kicks it out of your hand, like
At your own risk, yeah.
yeah, like I sorry, Verizon's gonna be stoked. There, you have to buy a new phone.
There you go.
know?
So it would be fair to say that it's part of your songwriting, right? You have the shows in mind as you're writing,
Look,
right?
The second I heard the last note of the last track, which is like the breakdown ends and then it stops for a second and then there's an open note just kind of jump.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a show thing. That's not a recording thing.
Shit.
And you
That's so
cannot
fucking
go
funny
wrong.
because yeah, you're right, dude. Because I did that, like in my brain, I did that when I wrote it, and then I was like, "What the fuck did I do that for?" Like that's like at the end of a show where you're like talking about like, "Yo, this next song's fucking da da da." Like, why did I do that? But I left it because fucking we wanted to put it out.
It was the right decision. I'm just gonna tell you from my perspective, it was the right decision. That's the stuff that I miss, dude. I'm not kidding. Like these things, like to your point, by the way, earlier you said that it felt like over time people were focusing on different things as they were writing deathcore, maybe the better sound, better kind of song structure and stuff like that. But we kind of lost the fun out of it, like the surprising of just like a random thing that you're like, what is happening, like an intro. So you doing that to me fall in that kind of surprise and fun that you're just like, what is happening? So to
Like
me,
I don't get it, but
decision.
it's cool. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, like go crazy, go off.
Talking a bit about like the music you grew up on and stuff like that. I saw some stuff like, I've seen you talk through tweets about like Forsaken and like Mess in the Morgue and stuff like that, which is all like pretty kind of like niche, pretty underground random shit, right?
Yeah, so, like if you're from the area, you know it, and then if you're not from the area and you know it, holy shit, you know, like yeah. I saw I guess Blank in the Morgue. I saw them play shows in like little tiny like crack houses, I guess you would call them. Like like not good places, like needles on the ground type shit, like to 3 people. But like that's like that was it, you know.
Yeah.
That band and Forsaken, those were like, Forsaken was the band that was really like, they had like the production value, but they also had the like really heavy fucking like, it's just mosh
so
parts.
Like, it's so impending doom coded, I find.
Oh my god, yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like the low tuned, like the style of breakdown that they play was like specific to like that sort of.
Dude, it's funny because that was a band that I never really gave a shot growing up, but there was this one song and I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look it up. There was like a snake in the music video.
Okay.
And I just typed in impending
doom snake.
The snake video, impending doom. Okay, I'm gonna find it.
I mean, the Serpent was an album.
Maybe is it this Murderer? It might be Murderer. I don't know, but that band is sick. See, this is where the ADHD brain is. I'll just fucking look over there and go, oh, yeah, it's bad. But yeah, no, that band fucking rocks. And it's just the low tuned, heavy mosh parts. But like a lot of people who go to see Impending Doom don't really expect that. And then like the show gets like really chaotic because you have like that nice split of people that like don't mosh and don't want to get beat up. And then the people that do mosh and beat people up, and then it gets all crazy.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for like a very good disaster. As a band. Not as a showgoer, but as a band playing, it's like, fuck, yeah. That's sick. Yeah. Fuck it up.
No, but I mean, it's cool. It's cool too. You were mentioning, you were going to the tracheotomy and Girl of Glass show and stuff like that. So you fuck with a lot of these revival bands. You've been keeping up.
Yeah, I have Andy to happily blame for like showing me all these bands, because I was, very just like hardcore coded, I guess, for a while. Either that, or I was listening to like Explosions in the Sky, or like like very pretty shit to fall asleep to, or lo-fi beats to study to type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of put me on to like a lot of the recent stuff, like Victim Blamed, Reverent.
Yeah.
Bands like that. Like, those bands are tough. Those are very good bands.
And they're doing that sound too. Like what you were explaining about, like just doing music because that's what they fuck with, and putting a fresh take on it. Like they're doing it in a cool way for sure.
That's the thing. It's like, you don't have to like go to some guy who's going to charge you a lot of money to make this like sound huge and perfect. Just like make something dope and because you want to, and because it's fun. And then like people will notice that, and everybody's willing to listen to maybe a little bit of a record that sounds like a cat's hissing, but hey, like
if the songs are good,
and the emotion's there, and like you have the backing to it, like people will know.
I think it can serve the vibe too, right? Like there's maybe some stuff that would, it wouldn't sound necessarily that great with shot production, but for the specific type of music that we're talking about, sometimes that's part of the charm.
It's supposed to be ugly, it's supposed to be aggressive, and I think that's where the emotion comes from. It's just chaotic music. That's what it is. So if the production is chaotic, if the art is chaotic, if the lyrics are chaotic, fuck it up. That's perfect. I think that's cool.
I mean, speaking on that, you guys, Landry did your guys' mix master, right? From Girl of Glass?
Yeah.
How'd that come about? Did you guys know Landry ahead of time? Like, what was I didn't even know actually that he did any production work.
Yeah, so I didn't know Landry prior to that show, but because I know Jason. He did Boundaries designs, like
I figured design connection was probably going to be the thing,
and just like internet friend, long time internet homie. So hanging out for a bit was dope, but then so I listened to Girl of Glass because that was like the band that kind of got me back into the whole revival kick.
Yeah,
because they rock, they are sick,
and dope,
when I saw them, I literally lost my mind, like I moshed like a freak. I was losing it. And they were like, yo, you mosh hard. And I was like, thanks, your band is amazing. And I definitely punished them. I punished the fuck out of them. I think I literally
their 12-minute set that they were doing.
Yeah. And they covered Car Bomb.
Yes, sir.
So did Surface, which is also sick. Every band covered Car Bomb was sick. But I remember punishing Landry and being like, yo, I literally said, I'm gonna punish you real quick. That was sick. You guys are dope. Bass drop pedal, dope. Turn it up, everything's sick. Love it, and then we all just ended up talking through that. That's how I met Landry. And then I was like, hey, want to do this? And I don't remember if he was mentioning that he doesn't really do it much or at all, really.
Well, no, to me, it's just I had never seen him promote that or seen him credited for any work or him share anything that he had done. It was, for me, it was the first time I had seen anything of it. So I don't know. I don't know if he's wanting to do more or if he's starting or not. Or
I'm not
I don't
sure.
know. I just know he hadn't. I hadn't seen anything yet. Yeah.
I'm not sure, but very easygoing. If you have questions, he'll answer it. If you have things that you want to change, he'll fix it. Very, very good at what he does. And dude, it sounds amazing. I love it. I'm obsessed with the mix. I think it sounds so cool.
Well, it's exactly what we were just talking about, right? Like, kind of like having it be kind of ugly, but that's a good thing, right? Like it brings out a rawness that you wouldn't necessarily have in another kind of mix, and which again wouldn't necessarily suit at everything, but for what you guys are doing, it's like 1,000% the vibe, you know?
Yeah. It's like perfectly polished. It's like polished like to the point where we want it. Like that's it. Like
snare
that's like
fucking
low
rules.
end. The snare. Oh, dude, the first thing I think I would have to find the message, but I think I opened with like big bass drops, loud pingy snare. That's it. Like anything else, I don't care. If the snare is loud as fuck. And bass drops are big.
The bass drops too. The breakdowns come in and the bass drops kind of like scoop everything. That's like yes. But Girl in Glass does that same sort of thing, right? Like I love that sort of like over the top. Like it's obnoxious and it's meant to be, you know.
Well, it's funny. Like I don't know. A lot of people despise bass drops, but like it was never even really like a. What would you say, like an ironic thing where I was like, haha, I really like bass drops. Like growing up, if a band had bass drops and they were big, I was like obsessed, you know? And like, I remember looking up like top 10 best bass drop breakdowns on YouTube. And it was like those really shitty, like Windows Movie Maker videos.
Yeah.
From, like,
just the Comic Sans text. And
And like that weird, like blue background.
Yeah.
Like I ate that shit up, you know? So this to me, like obviously it's loud and like overbearing, but like that isn't like an ironic thing to me. Like I love that shit. So like even if it's annoying and may be bad for some people's car speaker, fuck your car speaker. I don't care. Like it sounds sick. I love it. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, it's like but we grew up on that. Like there was definitely a time where that was like you had to, like that was just the thing every band did, you know. And you were mentioning, you know, the bass boost on the pedal. Like I did that for fucking years. Like and that shit always hit so hard. Like. And there was no other samples. It was just for we had a full sample thing on the ground, a full sample pedal for the one bass drop.
That's right.
You know? And make it loud. You know, turn it up a bit. No, even louder. Come on.
Yeah, the venue's shaking, and they're like, dude, no, sound guy, come on, up there to the moon.
Yeah. What's the one you always pull up, Yan? Is it the above this breakdown? Is it the bring back the bass?
Is that what's that song called? Lipton, I think, or something like that.
I don't remember what the name of the song is, but just that sort of bass drop. That's like it's got highs in the bass drop. You know, like
you don't want it to be like only audible through like a good speaker.
No,
like exactly, you want to be able to like on your phone hear like you know. So fucking however you can make that happen, I don't know, but thank you, Landry.
It sounds sick, man. I love that. When was World of Warcraft and Yu-Gi-Oh introduced into the whole mix?
Instantly.
Initial talks like, let's make a deathcore band. It's gonna sound like Flow Face Dan. We're gonna talk about World of Warcraft.
Because I think I was like thinking of names for the band, and I was like, Damage Over Time would be sick, and like DOT as like a little abbreviation, also sick. We could put that on merch,
like sigil material.
Like everything is there, perfect, you know. But then, like, I thought about it more, and I was like, my entire life revolves around this fucking game. Because it does. And, like, so, yeah, it's going to be about WoW. And then Wayne, when we brought Wayne in, Wayne's, like, a Yu-Gi-Oh head. Like, I grew up playing Yu-Gi-Oh, but not, like, Wayne, like, is still opening cards and shit. Yeah. Like, he's in there. So, when he got into the mix, I was like, okay, WoW everything. And he was like, well, I don't really play WoW, but I really love Yu-Gi-Oh. Here's all this shit. Thousand Eyes, dope. And I'm like, yeah, that is sick.
Yeah.
Well, we could do a mix. We could do a half a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we it's just WoW with Yu-Gi-Oh fucking all the way, the whole thing.
Any possibility of other nerd shit creeping in, or those are the two things and that's it?
Oh, dude, yeah, there's more.
Okay.
Yeah. More video games, video game and movie. Movie is less nerdy. It's like a horror movie nerd. So if you hear, you'll be like, "Oh shit, that's cool." If like it's like a if you know kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, same with fucking Yu-Gi-Oh or WoW. You know, like you gotta be a WoW head or really fuck with Yu-Gi-Oh heavy to understand the references, right?
Dude, there's like, so I've seen some people comment like, I love like the WoW voice lines, like, you know, but there's more WoW stuff that nobody's said anything about yet. And I'm interested to see if they'll figure it out. I'll say it, I don't care. But it's like funny that there's so much in there.
I like the idea of letting people figure it out.
Hey man, go figure it out, everybody. Go. It's so like in your face too, but no one said anything about it yet. So we'll see. Yeah.
There we go. I love the side note to damage over time being screamed at the end of the song, like on the as the breakdown. That's sick. I guess that's like another hardcore coded thing, like saying the name of your band, you know,
like gang chants.
Yeah, gang chants too altogether, I guess. But like that's more of a hardcore thing than it is. You know, we had gang chants in deathcore, but not really necessarily saying your band name type thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, and I think it all boils back down to like the show experience. Like when we play shows, like I don't want to say that part. Like I want to put a mic in the crowd and everybody else is like chanting that part. You know what I mean? And that's like something that's also like in your brain when you're writing shit like that. It's like that would be dope at a show. That'd be cool. You know? Yeah,
so. It's like it's definitely, I don't know. We talk about this a lot, but I think we've moved on technology wise. And maybe COVID kind of exacerbated this too, but like we've really went into this, you know, and it's not necessarily different for you guys, but like this bedroom recording, single person writing in front of a computer, in front of a DAW, and like kind of writing things out, and not so much for the live show, right? And there really is such a difference when you're specifically thinking about that when you're writing the music, and I think that's something that's for the most part been lost in a lot of this sort of music. So it's cool to hear, you know, even just like regardless, like you guys are, you know, kind of recording remote or whatever, but you guys are like in a Discord call together and like thinking about these things. Even just that I think is more than what a lot of bands are doing now, you know?
Yeah. It's funny. 'Cause like I remember like, I forget what band it was, but hearing that the band was like 2 people and like that was it, and it was just like 40 internet. And I was like, that's so odd. And like not that it was like a bad thing, but I was like, I've never heard of that. Like an internet project. That was like such a weird thing to me. And like now
why would someone want to do that, I guess, type thing? Like why would you not want to play shows out of it?
Right.
Yeah.
But then no, you're so right. Infinite Annihilator. Yeah. You know what's funny is like
one of the few examples, right? Too. Like earlier on.
Yeah, and that was before COVID.
Yeah.
You know, that was way before. But like, maybe that was the band. Honestly, maybe that was the band that I was like, huh, you're never gonna play a show? Like, you should. It would be sick. Go do it.
Yeah.
You know. But like, yeah, I don't know. That was always such an odd thing. But then when COVID happened, and like writing music was a thing. Yeah, you just sit in front of computer and you just kind of do your thing, and
which, you know, makes things easier if anything, right? Like I think it's set up a lot of people to be able to, you know, produce more music, you know, and make things easier. Maybe get their ideas out like into some sort of form faster than before. Right, kind of forced people to be able to figure it out, and we're probably better off with that than without, you know, being able to write, you know, write music while you're in a Discord call is also, I guess, sort of like a fruit of that, right? So
and maybe that's like video game coded, but you know, But also,
Look,
yeah.
metalheads and gaming, you know. Just a quick interruption to talk to you guys about the sponsor of today's episode, Indie Merch Store. I assume most of you listening or watching are already familiar with the website, but in case you guys live under a rock, Indie Merch Store is your number one spot for officially licensed merch, specifically metal and hardcore, no bootleg, it's all official stuff. I'd normally be asking you guys to use our promo code to save, and we get a little something in return, but it is Black Friday right now, so the biggest deals of the year are going on the website. Currently, everything is 15% off if you use the code DEATHROCK15, DEATHROCK15. If you're not sure about it, it's written all over the website. You'll see it if you go. And yeah, they've got merch from bands like Lorna Shore, Angel Maker, Infant Annihilator, Shadow of Intent, Black Dahlia Murder. You get it. All the cool bands are on indiemerchstore.com. So again, 15% off the entire store. DeathRock15, DeathRock15, all weekend over at indiemerchstore.com. Thanks again to Indie Merch Store for sponsoring today's episode. And now back to the show.
I noticed that I was muted because you talked about above this, right? So I looked I just never said anything. But above this, not to go back on it, but it was like one of my favorite things in the world because, as you said, a lot of people are like, bass drop. You can put 50 bass drop in one song and I won't complain. Like, it's super sick, and I never minded it. And everybody who's just like, bass drop, like they're probably the same people who looks at like, this riff wasn't technical. Like, personally, seriously, like, I
just
think
people that don't like deathcore, ultimately.
Yeah, probably.
That,
I'm guessing if maybe you hate deathcore and what you love is black metal, maybe you're not a fan of bass drops, but like, personally, I love it. It just had something to it, and I personally put it in every single song that I make. But above this, really, really went hard on it.
Level,
and I thought it was awesome. Like the part, and he even says in his lyrics, "Bring back the bass," and as he's saying the bass, it goes.
It's bring back the.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it's so
love
sick.
That shit.
I'm not sure if they're still doing music. It would be a good question, but when it came out, it was just. And another thing I said when I was muted is your production was that's exactly what I said to Dom prior to the to the podcast. I told him it's right in the middle of like a really good production with the raw sounding that we enjoy. It's raw enough that it's violent and it didn't lose the kind of intensity of it. But it's really well produced that like you can appreciate this. It sounds massive still, which is a pretty difficult balance. I feel like you easily fall in the overproduced or the super demo-ish, just like
can't hear shit.
Unbalanced with like
everything's phasing and like like fuck.
It's not like I can still appreciate it, but like good vocal, to me it doesn't do justice to good vocals when it's peaking the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like when the entire time it's just like it's just. I'm not even hearing the tone of the vocals. You can't hear anything.
Yeah.
It's just like I feel like you're losing on something. But your dude, the like your production, I feel like it's the sweet spot. Right.
It feels honestly perfect. Like, because I was talking to Landry about it, like as he was doing it, and like the last thing that we did to kind of like finalize it was like just take the low end of everything and just like kick it up a little bit. Okay. And I feel like that just for some reason took it all and just like put it in like this perfect little ball of like, this is it. Like, this is good. This is perfect.
Yeah. No, really.
It passed the car speaker test. That's what I do. I go sit in the car and I play it in the car. And if it sounds good in there, that's it.
No, seriously,
Sounds
it
good
works.
everywhere
If you
else.
got to buy a new pair of speakers, there we go. We got
That's
the right
right.
mix.
That's right.
It's stupid, but you gotta test it on different places. Like the car is something
yeah.
I do. I even do it on my phone because keep in
me
mind,
too.
a lot of people are gonna listen to on their
No,
phone. right?
guys, it's the laptop speakers. I hate
my
to say it, but it's the That's the ultimate test is the laptop speakers. That's where most people are gonna be listening to.
I was
it
gonna
on.
say MacBook speakers
yeah.
for some reason sound really, really good. I mean, maybe it's because it's Mac and like new technology or whatever, but like, yeah,
Well, it
it
makes
sounds
sense.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
good.
Yeah, would make sense. But like for me, like because I'm also doing videos on YouTube, and seriously, I'm often testing it on my phone to hear how I'm sounding because like we forget, but a lot of people are gonna be like whatever.
Oh, YouTube,
doing their
yeah,
thing.
YouTube's a different thing for sure.
Yeah, and they're just gonna be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
so I check. But for music, I have to agree with you. Like in the car, it's kind of if you need to fix things, you're gonna know pretty much right. You know,
And that's
pretty
where you
much
can
right.
crank
that's
it,
true.
right? That's the one environment where you can really have it
yeah.
loud too. Like,
Yup.
Yeah, where you're suddenly like, what the fuck is that? Like, are we talking in the background? No. Get rid of that.
Yeah, it's
you've got the
like-
Discord
know?
notifications going off in the back. Yeah.
Dude, I would leave that in. We have funny samples in there that sound like that. But they're on purpose. There's actually there's a funny sample in which song is it? I think it's in Fiend. It's in Millesimal Immortal. There's a funny sample in there.
Okay.
I'll just say what it is because it's I've said it before on Instagram and stuff, but it's a Millionaire song. It's the Millionaire
Really?
song
I didn't
Alcohol,
catch
I'm
that.
pretty sure.
Okay.
It's the part where she's just like, yeah, millionaires, but it's just like, yeah, into a breakdown. I forget exactly which one it is, but listen for it. It's in there.
I'm mad I didn't pick up on that. I mean, I listened to
Yeah.
fucking Millionaires when I was growing up. So
Oh yeah. That's the thing, man. It's like if we're going back to like the roots, we're going all the way back, baby. We're Millionaire samples, and hopefully she doesn't get mad at me for doing that. Don't get mad at me, please.
Look, I mean, yeah, that'd be
Well-
pretty crazy if anything. But wait, maybe insensitive question. How the fuck old are you?
So I'm 25.
Oh, you seem like you had to. You took a pause to like, okay, I got to explain this.
Well, yeah, because like I don't know, man. People are very like when I say my age, like, yo, you're like a baby. But it's like not really. I don't know.
No, I was just wondering in relation because you're talking about like millionaires and talking about these MySpace era bands and stuff. But I mean, I was on MySpace, but I was 16, you know. And you were younger than that considerably.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm assuming you weren't on MySpace when you were, 5 years
I was
old. So
I was on the tail end of MySpace because
That's what I
MySpace was
thought.
still a thing. Yeah.
You were like one of the youngest, probably in. You were like 10 or
2010s ish,
Yep.
like
it was
yeah.
MySpace into Facebook time frame.
that's a terrible time frame.
Facebook
yeah,
was
it
the
was
worst.
fucking-
Just gonna say
Facebook,
it. Facebook,
god
it was
awful.
The worst.
Dude,
Still the platforms
Facebook
that.
till this day, yeah,
I hate it.
Today,
I
it
can't say-
fucking sucks.
Be honest with me. You also have it because of Messenger, right? You have it
Yeah.
because of Messenger. That's
Yeah, because that's the
basically
only way I
everybody.
could talk to my mom. My mom
Same-
uses Messenger,
Same. No, but seriously,
so I just
same.
yeah.
But like let's say that Facebook was without Messenger, would you have that? Seriously, like would you? I don't think I
Okay.
would.
So the only reason I kept it all this time was because of event pages for shows.
Oh yeah, okay.
that was
Okay,
the only
that's
thing.
the main thing.
I can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Because,
yeah. And
like,
groups
that's where you
and
could
when you're in
just,
a
like-
band, when
Yeah.
you play music and you're in a band too, and you want to promo your stuff, I don't know if it's
Sure.
as relevant necessarily today. I know, like, if you already have a following on Facebook because you're
Yeah.
like a band that's been at it throughout the Facebook years, may as
Right.
well still use it type of thing. I don't think I see tons of the newer bands that don't have Facebook pages though, or
I get it.
the ones that
Dude.
do have like very minimal, they don't give a shit about it, and there's
Just
like no
it
one's on
always
there.
felt like a downgrade. Like you would go on MySpace and like these crazy amazing pages with artwork and
Dude.
stuff like, and it was sick. And then we're on
Yeah.
a freaking blank white page with blue with like no options and stuff.
I
Like
mean, the no audio is the main
no
killer
audio,
for me.
no
Yeah.
music player.
No
It was
music
a
player, yeah.
complete downgrade.
Dude.
Just a full downgrade for
Flat out, yeah.
music. So it was like, I remember thinking, this is boring. Like I would still follow the bands that I love, but I would be like, this sucks. Like no top 8, no everything that was amazing. Like if I would have been Facebook, by the way, what I would have done is you can keep your platform as it is, but music wise, keep the elements of MySpace in your music pages. That would have made so much more sense.
Dude, yeah.
Like make
Yeah,
MySpace
but-
part of it.
Right, but look at it on the flip side. Facebook's trying to do something new and fresh, and MySpace was on its way out. So I don't think MySpace was necessarily the good thing to look to in terms of what's working right now, right?
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
I think like we look
but-
back on it and we're like, that was sick. But at the time, maybe they were just like, well, we're trying to do something different. But
I just feel like, and I could, by the way, I could say that for Instagram as well. Like, it just sucks now that there's no customization. You would arrive on an artist's page and it would be theirs. Like, it would be completely different to go on a freaking page of like Attack, and then you go on Suicide Silence. It's two different worlds. Like the artwork, everything was different. But now if you go on Instagram, it's like, yeah, here's the Instagram page, and here's the Facebook page, and it's all just flat, no customization, nothing.
You would have had a blast doing some MySpace layouts.
dude, I did.
And I did do
So when I was on MySpace for the time that I edited I felt like a fucking little coder guy. Like I was looking up like code to like put shit in certain spots. Things were like glittery and shit. Like, because I grew up like when I was that age, it was all new metal. So I was like trip pants, fucking Jicko jeans, everything was cyber, so my page was that. Yeah, and then it was funny when I was making the Damage Over Time Facebook page, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Why am I doing this? But then when
I was surprised to find it, actually. I was like, oh, okay.
Might as well, right?
But
when I made the Bandcamp, I was like, this is kind of fun. Like shitty little like squished cover photo.
The squished,
like,
I'm looking at it right now. I was like, I love that, yeah.
And like I could like change the colors and shit. I was like, this feels like, this takes me back a little bit. Like this could be fun again. Look at that. The cover photo is fucking awful and it's sick. And then like the red type and it all matches. Yeah, I was on my MySpace shit. That was fun.
No, but it's you see what I'm saying? Like it's a way to like welcome people in your world type thing, And I understand that it's probably less trouble for a platform to be just like all uniform. Like you don't have to manage anything, and you don't. I get that. But I feel like it was a strong point of MySpace. Like it was a strong thing to do because like you could include everything, your label, your artwork, everything you were doing. So it was definitely, so what I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if over time we would have something more music centered in terms of application.
I don't understand how there
so.
still isn't, honestly. Yeah.
I hope so. If there was like a music centric social media, that'd be perfect.
Would be sick. Imagine like, and they have to bring back the top 8 thing, that you put your friend. Like I can see it already, seeing a band like Girl of Glass and in their friends there's just like Reverend and all those. Like it would be. It was one of the best ways to find out about stuff because then in their top 8, sometimes it would be like a clothing line and you would be like, what's that? And then you click and it's like the clothing line of one of the members and you're like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. And you would discover, I would spend days just discovering stuff all the time. Just like, what's that band? And you're like, oh, I guess they're friends with that band. It's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
it was
Now we've got AI telling us, who's friends with who on
which is the
Spotify.
worst.
Man,
Which is,
I look
Which is
up-
like at least there's that, but
That's
Bro, I
terrible.
look up things on Google and I'm getting AI answers now.
Oh yeah.
Like, what the
fuck is
that about?
I cannot stand that. Like,
Holy
to
shit.
me,
And
I-
I've already
dude.
had a bunch of things not be correct too, and you see it in the first post of the right answer. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
We're going
it's
down, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
scary.
feel like a boomer talking about AI, but
Me
it's,
too.
so
Me too.
right now it's not in the greatest shape.
We've
Yeah.
been warned more than enough times in movies, I feel like, and we're still heading in that path. So, like, my reaction is going to be, well, this is what you get. Like, if some,
we knew this was coming.
you knew it. Even the people creating it, you knew. Everybody knew. Just don't pretend. It's fine. Assume it. We're going to be taking. It's fine. Just it's part of it now. No, but it's just it's two different times. Like you can probably argue that now there's certain things, but the customization personally, it needs to come back in some ways.
I agree.
Dude. Like,
I feel like that's why
you have a lot more work on your plate as a designer, I'd assume.
Well, yeah, I feel like going into like the design stuff is like that is so fun for me because you can make a website if you get to that point, I guess, but like when it comes to like design and stuff and like giving your band like a look and feel, that's my favorite part of everything. Besides like writing and playing shows and stuff, like having merch look cohesive in a drop, like how a show is going to perform, what is this going to look like, what's that going to look like, that's my favorite part.
Yeah,
I
the general
love
like
being
art
able to do
direction.
that.
Like,
Yeah, that's my favorite shit. I love that so much, and I think that's super important, and there's a lot of bands that do it so well, and they just kill it, and it's so sick.
and
it
Girl
just
of
gives
Glass
it a
is a great
different
example
layer.
of that. I mean, obviously you got Jason in there I was gonna say to blame for them. That's not the right word, but
Happily
to
blame,
thank for
steer
that
it in the right direction. Yeah, thank.
yeah.
maybe it sounded a bit more negative to say like it's his fault.
It's his fault. But
Yeah, what the fuck is he thinking?
Yeah, ruining everything.
But no, but I personally I love. Look, I'm not a designer, but I love when things look like there's a designer's touch to it. Like you can tell right away if it was just the dude that did it that has no idea. Like that's what I do. I do the random shit and I don't know what I'm doing type thing. I can make something okay, but like when you see like interesting, compelling graphic design for whether it be t-shirts or album art or stage setups or anything like that, I think that's always such a cool thing. I think most people probably don't, because that's the thing I notice because I'm interested by it. I don't think most people necessarily know that that's like maybe a part of why they like something. I don't think they necessarily think that far about it.
It's
but
like a psychological thing for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like whether you know it or not, like it contributes to the whole vibe for sure.
Yeah, of course.
You're creating. I feel like you're. If you create a project like that, you create a small universe in a way. Like you need.
Of course,
you need to create something around it because like someone like me who's super. I don't know. I would say maybe emotionally attached to what I like. Like if I discover a band, I want to know
Maybe
everything.
no, okay. Big confirm.
Definitely. I mean, huge
confirm. Huge confirm.
Yeah, definitely. I literally started a channel to document the music and all the bands that I love. Like I definitely love diving in a universe, and that's kind of why it's kind of a double-sided thing because then if if the members are shady or whatever, they're losing me. But on the other side, if they're amazing people, it's like I feel I'm almost feel like I know them or something. I'm this crazy person. But the art is a big part of that. Like all these things matter so much more than what people think. Like enjoying the logo, enjoying like what you chose behind and everything, because it's gonna translate over time. Like, do you really want to buy a shirt with a logo that you hate? No. Like, you want to vibe with stuff. You have no idea how happy I was when I saw the Yu-Gi-Oh reference difference. You know what I mean? Like it's just no, but like I grew up with it, and it's funny enough. I had a fiend deck, like a team, like all my creatures were fiends in it. So when I saw it, I was like, wow.
That's awesome.
It's so cool. Well, I guess we can talk a little bit about that. First of all, is there any plans to make a Yu-Gi-Oh artwork maybe in the future? Did you think about that?
Yeah, we thought about it. Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, I'm getting that shit.
Let's talk. I would love. I mean, we're already talking about it anyways. Graphic design in general, because you do graphic design. We didn't really explicitly say it, but that's like your job. That's the thing you do.
That's what I do every single day. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know you did, the logo work and the artwork stuff for this band. So maybe talk to us a little bit about. Yeah. We're talking about maybe like the vibe of what you wanted to put off or what you were going for. Talk to us. Nerd out with us about some graphic design talk.
What you
with
see.
I can nerd out, man. Chill out.
We love that. We're here for that, especially.
We're here for it. Yeah.
Look, I'm sitting up now. I'm like, okay, let's go.
The cap on backwards. Like, okay. There we go. We're ready.
Okay, that's happening. It's happening.
Hello.
Aerodynamics on max.
That's right. I'm going fast.
Second part now. Starting now.
Nah, I just wanted it to be scary looking, but that was kind of like, I guess, like what I wanted it to look like, was like scary.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like art direction wise, it's all, so this is when it was all like WoW related. So like the cover is when I first thought of the idea, it was like what was I gonna say? So in World of Warcraft, I play a rogue. So all of the stuff was gonna be related to that. It was gonna be like sepsis was gonna be a song, like all this shit, like all the talents and things from World of Warcraft are gonna be all the song names, da da da. So the cover
you chose a class for your band.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Undead Rogue. That's right. Okay. And the cover is Cannibalize. It's an ability where if you kill another player or another like humanoid thing in the game, you can like eat them and like regain your health.
Wow.
And I was like, that's fucking tough. Imagine if that was just the cover. So yeah, it's just like teeth with like blood, and then our logos in the background. So I just wanted to put as much nerd shit as I can into it and make it look creepy.
It's cool because it's not like too out there necessarily. Not that would be like a bad thing necessarily, right. But if you don't know, it kind of just more so looks like textures and just something gruesome going on with obviously like the red kind of like blood stuff, but it doesn't like, it's not like tacky, right? Like I think it would have been easy to be like kind of cheesy to do like, hey, we're doing WoW and here it is,
I think the two red kind of tinted
going over top the logo.
I think that was a really good decision. Something that weirdly we didn't see a lot also, but it's cool. Like the first thing I noticed, basically, I'm like, it creates more of a connection with the logo as opposed to like, sometimes you can tell the logo is kind of just, and I'm sure you can tell because like you work in graphic design, so sometimes you can really tell that it's just like snap there, like
they just put it there. I mean, like even like Gorilla Glass and like
drop
Jason
shadow in the back.
You're
like,
but like, right. Dude, but like Jason like cropped out the logo and put it on an eyeball. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. It's sick. Like little nuances are so important, and people who have an eye for it can tackle that the right way. And like every move is calculated, as a designer, every move is calculated
for sure.
So when you mentioned like the fact that the little blood thingies going over the logo gets you more attached to the art itself. Yeah, that was the intent, is to just like, it's not just a thing to just be like, okay, this is the art. It's like, this is a little piece of art that
lot
is
of thinking behind.
Yeah.
Well, it's the difference between having like I think artwork and promo, right? Like if all you wanted to do was a promo piece for the band, you would have the logo super clear and visible and probably more legible, and maybe written underneath, right? But that's not the point with like the cover art. That's not what you're going for, right? And it's okay if you can't really tell what's like written in there, and if it's you've got the red on top and it kind of makes it more like whatever muddier. You can't really tell as much what it is, but like that's what you're going for, right?
Yeah. I just when I was making it and like how I wanted it to look, I just looked at a bunch of like float face down stuff, and I was like, this is just like gritty, like. But that's the thing about old stuff too. It's like it is all kind of straight to the point, which is sick. But like I just put my twist on it because I don't make things that are like straight to the point like that. I always try to do something a little wacky in there, something a little crazy. So
yeah, and
ta-da, that's what we got.
What was cool to me, there's two things that I love too. The fact that it's written demo on it, to me, adds something to it to bring you back, right? Because that's something we don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but we don't see it really as much right now. First of all, a lot of people don't even do demos. Like, it's pretty rare.
It's definitely a hardcore thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe more. It makes sense. Yeah. But it really...
So the crossover...
Yeah, and it looks like it's well done, but it brings you back at the same time. What I mean is just like, it reminded me of like, because the Suicide Silence EP is one of my favorite things in the world in terms of sound and everything. It kind of gave me that feel of like a demo. Like, you didn't listen to it and it's gonna hit. You're like, okay, that's probably gonna be heavy. So you definitely nailed that. But
I appreciate that.
It's interesting though. It's true that it's maybe there's a hardcore side to it. I didn't see it like that, but it's true.
I think it's more so like we're all like DIY brained, So like even like in my real life stuff, like I didn't necessarily want to get like a job. Like I just wanted to have like my business be my job. And like because like I have like that DIY mindset, and I now work at the WWE, and that
congrats
is
by
like,
the way, because that's pretty crazy, right?
Thank you. That's it's fucking weird. It is crazy. I got this cool hat though. This is cool.
I mean, you'll have some stuff with your shit printed on it too, right?
yeah. There's a bunch right now. Yeah. A lot of like ECW stuff, which it goes back to like the DIY hardcore shit. Like when I get to be in my element of like making shit look creepy, making it look old school, making it look scary. That's the stuff that I end up seeing, in the world, like through the WWE. But when it comes to like music and stuff, we're all DIY brain. Like me, Kalina, Wayne, Andy, all of us are just like, we're just doing it, So I think that's why things like demo on the art, it's like, well, it's a demo here. Because we were going to put out an EP, but when I got the WWE gig, we couldn't finish recording vocals because if I yelled in here, I would get kicked out. So, like we have 2 songs done before I moved,
Demo.
So now it's a demo. Yeah. It's a demonstration of what's to come whenever we could figure out recording vocals, maybe like in the car or some shit. I don't know. But,
it's doable. It's definitely doable. But I think it's cool. I love demos personally, and a demo that sounds good like that is different, because a demo in 2004 was something else, if I'm honest. Like I've heard, like as I was making my videos, you hear those first demos and it's like it's really difficult to listen to that. But like you guys called it a demo, but I mean like it could have been EP album and it would have been still like,
it's kind of more indicative of the length of the thing more than the
the
production.
It's not quality wise, exactly. It's more of a demo. Like we have a few songs here. Here's the band and what we are, but it's not like, hey, here's some garbage. It's not like, oh, we did that and then listen to it like a lot of people would do back then. So
we kind of just wanted I think we're just all super impatient, and we just like we had the songs, and then there was like the whole chunk of songs that we didn't have or we couldn't do. We're like, fuck, man, but like we really want to do it. We really want to put it out. Fuck it, let's just do it, you know. And then now those 2 songs plus other ones could be on something later, you know. So.
No, but that's cool, dude. Like my first reflex was I was just like I want to hear more than that. Like it was, which is what you want, right? That's exactly.
Yeah, I hate a full length, but I need more than 5 minutes. Come on.
I'm sorry. Look, it's so funny because like it is like realistically, I think it's like 3 minutes of music.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like the intro sample.
Yeah.
And then
samples on the 2 other songs to start the songs.
And then the first one is also an intro. Like the first song is like the intro, technically, and then the one song. So it's kind of a lot of music, but not really at all.
Hey, look, y'all are all doing it. I mean, fucking, you know, we're talking about Girl of Glass since the beginning. They pulled the same thing on as the 12-minute sets and all that. We're getting used to it. It's okay. But look, it's leaving us wanting more, man. It's okay. I'll never. I kid when I say these things. I'll never. I rather just have whatever makes sense. You know, we'll get whatever else whenever that makes sense, and that's chill. You know, some people might be impatient, but you know that's not.
I think it's
cool.
Man,
we are
in
too.
Small doses.
yeah.
But I think it's cool in small doses because like you sometimes the opposite don't work as well. Like if you put out like a lot, like always music, it's cool in a way, but I feel like it's not as special as like arriving. Like we keep talking about Cycle Frame, and like I feel like that's a good pace. You know, they're coming back with something. It's like, oh, cool, and then you listen to that. Oh, they're coming back. So you guys are dropping this. It's cool for you because it gives you time to gauge your reaction, comments that you have. Also, not that it's going to change everything, but it kind of it's always good to have other perspectives and how it is, and then you can come back with something else. So it's definitely like a good way to put your music out there, I think. I don't know if did we talk about like so far the comments you have? Are you guys happy with the reaction so far?
The reaction's been kind of scary good. Like we didn't like expect anything, and then like it kind of just like went. We're like, whoa, all right. Well, because okay, bro, I was so bummed because like I fucked up the DistroKid stuff, and like I like didn't do it on time. So then like I'm sitting there, I'm like,
classic mistake.
Dude, I'm just like, fuck. Like it's just only on Bandcamp. And then like if you listen to it like once on Bandcamp, it comes up with a little pop-up. It's like, all right, get your money out. And if you click no, you can't fucking listen to it. So shit.
People are smarter than that. You just, put it on incognito mode or some shit. And they'll listen
probably.
To it some more,
right.
But look, I bought it. But
thank you. I saw that.
You could find other ways to listen to it.
Dude, I was honestly just surprised that people did buy it and like supported it. Because it was literally out for like 15 minutes, and people were buying it, and I was like, that's cool. Like,
look, we listened to it once or maybe 3 times in 15 minutes. So, we already knew.
Man, yeah, it's short. I know. I get it. It is tiny. There's no music on it. It's just samples and cool things. No music.
I had a question, by the way. We did talk a little bit. You talked about WoW and Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. Like, just... I know I'm going to switch topics a little bit, but like, do you game a lot? Do you watch I guess my question is,
how much of a nerd are you?
Exactly. Are we talking animes in general? Are we talking gaming? Are we talking like...
Keep it going. What else you got? Yeah.
Lord of the Ring. I don't know. Just... This
is a WoW tattoo. This whole thing is a WoW tattoo. So, yeah. I'm like Wowhead, that much of it.
Literally.
Wowhead.com. It's right here. Yeah. It's fucked. I play that game way too much, I think. But
you playing Classic?
I am playing Classic, yeah. Right now I'm playing Classic more because retail is kind of at like a weird stump because it's like end of the season. But yeah, WoW has always been in my life like since I was a kid. Same with Yu-Gi-Oh. I would always be Yugi for Halloween. I had like this like shitty
one
like
costume.
yeah, with like the mask with the fucking with the hair and everything. Yep. So like all of this shit was always a part of my life, and so like even doing something like this where it's like, oh, it would be cool to put all these references in there. It's like, wait, no, that's actually really fucking cool. Like, you know, it very much directly, like probably once we're done with this, me and Kalina are gonna go raid. You know,
yeah.
Like we just,
Let's
yeah,
go.
she has her setup right out there. Mine's right here. We play WoW.
That's so sick.
So, yeah.
And it feels like I never played actively WoW and stuff like that, which maybe I should have. I mean, I love Skyrim and all these things, but it's just, I know
Still
it's different,
can.
but yeah, but
Not that much.
it seems so much time consuming in terms of what you have to do in the game and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Kinda.
Like,
It's weird. There's like so many avenues in that game because it's been around for so long that
Okay.
there's like so much shit that you could do. There's like 20 years of content. So like
yeah, okay.
if you like things that look cool and you just want a character that looks cool, you can go do like old content and get like cool looking gear. And like easily because all the things are like
Specific.
20 years old.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so like you could just like one tap them. You don't have to do any damage. You're all dead, and it's like, okay, that's cool. I want to wear that now. You know, there's like that avenue. There's like the hardcore raider people,
Rare
which are
things,
kind of like
maybe.
us. Yeah,
You're
rare
looking-
drops and all that shit, like collectors, stuff like that. Yeah.
Since you started a long time ago, I'm guessing you have some cool rare things from back then still?
Yeah, so I had my initial account when I was a kid from like TBC, which is like the second expansion or like the first expansion technically. And then I stopped playing around like, I want to say Warlords of Draenor, which is like 4 in, I'm pretty sure. And then I couldn't get back into that account. So I had to start a new one around like Legion and BFA time, which is like, it's shitty. It sucks. But I still go back and I try to like get all the shit back. And now that Classic's a thing, like I can kind of like relive that like young, just playing the game again kind of thing. Or like just starting kind of shit.
And
So
shit,
it's fun.
and shit you missed out on type thing.
Oh yeah. Well, because there was Cataclysm, I'm gonna nerd out. There's Cataclysm where the stupid giant dragon destroyed everything, and now there's cool gear that you can't get anymore. That sucks. Yeah, guys,
Okay.
it's fucked up.
Okay.
It is fucked up, dude.
there's an axe that looks like a guitar and it has strings, and I want it, but I can't get it because the stupid giant dragon destroyed it. So.
Yeah, no, but I think it's awesome. Like, we're starting definitely to notice a pattern that, like, most of us in deathcore, we're basically all nerds. Like, at this point, it's kind of fair to say, like, I don't think I've met someone in deathcore or that kind of music who's like, oh, no gaming, no anime, nothing like that. Like, I don't even think that happened. Seriously. It's like a common...
I feel like it's hard to, like escape it. Like I feel like it's always been there, especially like in the age range that we're at. It's like
true.
It was always there. Video games were always there, and even if you didn't play them, like the culture was always there. You know, like 90s was all like cyber shit and like the whole like Y2K thing that people are like fucking with now again. Like
internet
that
with
was
phone internet that you would have to... I'm guessing you were fairly young, even if our age difference is not that huge still. You know, you would try to play a game online and your mom would be like, I'm trying to make a call.
I don't think that's making a comeback specifically, but you know.
I'm not saying it makes a comeback, I'm just
Hopefully
saying we
not.
went through that. We went through that, definitely. No, but it's just funny sometimes sometimes because you have realization that you're, you know, really nerdy. Like me, for example, I'm noticing you have a Mario mushroom. Maybe if I see properly, I still watch Mario 64 iceberg videos and conspiracy things behind the games. So just to give you an idea. And I play modded Mario 64. That's my life. Like I'm playing a mod that's based on the conspiracy. So they created a world like if the conspiracy is about they made the conspiracy Mario 64.
Reality.
They made a real mod. There's like 400 stars, and it's Mario 64, and it's all the beta levels, new levels, and it's like AI is against you. So like you're in the castle.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's really creepy.
New fear unlocked.
And
I'd be fucking petrified.
Dude, it's pretty scary because like you're gonna go in the door and it goes from being super uplifting, like you're in a cool new level, like, and they really made it in the style. It's like if it was a sequel to Mario, basically 64, which is one of my favorite games. But then you take the wrong door and it's like you're in a complete darkness and you're like, what's happening? And you see like Bowser's like shadow and you're just like, what's happening? It's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up. And I hate horror games. I don't even know why I'm enjoying this, but you know, it is.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm a Silent Hill nerd as well, like heavy. And our last band that we played in Centralia is a Silent Hill reference. And there's like a lot of Silent Hill samples throughout the whole record.
Oh, that's so cool. Shout out to dude, Silent Hill is so...
Have you heard Killing of a Sacred Deer?
No,
the band?
But I know of it.
So go check it out because it's like this like new wave deathcore thing. It's or old wave, whatever, coming back. It's that. It's like Psycho Frame-esque, and he's like the biggest Silent Hill head as well.
Really?
So the music is full of it. Yeah,
you're gonna like it.
Let's go.
And the music is really good too. But like Silent Hill, I was about to say, like, to me, horror-wise, it's one of the best artistic visions I've ever seen in my life, because in horror, you know what it is like in horror, like you really it becomes like cheesy pretty quickly, like just like repeated and like the same thing we see all the time, and it can be almost funny sometimes, you know, with certain slashers and stuff, but like Silent Hill went on another kind of horror, like something that makes you think, something that's just like it's chilling in another way. Also the music, the piano and everything.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's one of like the craziest like parts of Silent Hill is the music, and like the soundtrack, because
and it's so good,
dude. I feel like that it's weird that like dark, eerie soundtrack, I feel like is what made that whole like old school PlayStation stuff so adjacent with like us in music and like heavy music or like new metal or whatever was popping at the time. Like it was all so in the same wavelength, and that's why I feel like that is a big reason why video games and even like wrestling I've noticed too, and like shit like that, it's all so they go hand in hand.
Yep.
You know. So I feel like that's why we're all just fucking dorks about something, at least, you know, like all of us are weirdos about something, and it's sick because then we could all yap about it, you know?
Oh no, definitely. I mean, dude, like last week I was literally on eBay trying to buy first generation Beyblades. That's how, like, just, you know.
I was literally just talking about Beyblades at work the other day.
Okay, there you
it's
go.
It's fucked up. I need one. And I also just bought this card.
WWE
first generation
collab incoming.
Dude, this fucking thing. I bought this on eBay the other day. I'm covering the code, but it's a card that gives you a chance to get like the rarest mount in the game, or bullshit. It's like a gamble. And I got fucked. I got the bullshit. I got like snacks in the game.
That's worse than paying for a mount, dude.
Dude, fuck.
Oh no.
I was pissed. Yeah, I should fucking rip it in half. It was one of the cheaper ones, so maybe that's why I got the snacks in game and not the cool mount. But
if it can make you feel better, like I don't know if you know CS:GO, like skins and how expensive it can be. Okay,
like knives and shit.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right?
So just and every time I remember that, I kind of want to cry. I had I had knives that I sold for like a few hundred that right now would be 15K. Like not kidding, yeah. So I don't know if you know,
Holy.
I had some blue gems. Like I fully remember having an M9 blue gem. For those who know CS:GO, it's like a crazy knife. Like the least expensive M9 right now is around $1,000. Just to give you an idea. And I had one of the rarest. It was crazy. And like it's so I'm just trying to tell you, like, I fully get it, because it's so exciting at the same time to maybe have something rare. Like, it makes me realize when I was younger, I would see gambling and I would like, why are people like, I get it. I really like after
Dude.
I get it.
Holy fuck.
I understand.
It's so funny because I talk shit about like casinos and like I just
Right,
don't
and then-
like I don't care for it. I don't give a fuck. But then I bought this stupid shit and I
you
didn't
go.
get the mount.
It's
so
gambling,
like
dude. It is.
I know I'm just as bad.
But I'm the same, dude. And for the longest time, I would
Oh,
be like,
man.
I don't understand people, they go in casinos and stuff like, and I would be like opening cases on CS:GO and getting nothing
Yeah.
for hours. Like, what's the difference between me doing that and somebody at a machine?
You're,
It's the
you're,
same
the only
thing.
difference
Dude.
is you're spending more money than them.
Oh,
That's
probably.
right.
Definitely.
Dude,
Definitely.
put me in honestly, if I talk shit about casinos and shit, but if you put me in front of a pretty looking fucking slot machine, man, I'm probably fucked.
Oh,
I'm probably there
I'm
for like
gone.
20 minutes.
I'm gone. Like,
Yeah, you're
it would
losing
be-
me.
Yeah, I would be the person who's like, next one is the right one. I would be like,
I
winning
feel it this
the next
time.
one.
I'm feeling it. Feeling good. This is the one.
Again, the meme with the guy going for the diamonds, and going back right before.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
you've got in
yeah.
your brain all the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
Today's my
fuck,
day.
Just
man.
one more. Yeah.
You know the person who's like a regular, and he's like, today's my day, and the person's like, you got it. Like, if you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
more chances this time around, like that's
Oh,
that's my
fuck.
that's my time.
I'm never stepping foot into a casino ever again. You have my
I don't
word.
think I would. I don't think
It's
I
been
will.
a rare occasion for me, but
Yeah.
I've had both experiences of having it be a chill night, but then I've also been, I was talking about this the other day or this morning actually, going to a casino at like 10 in the morning, but that for me was just because I lived beside the casino. It wasn't like
Yeah.
it wasn't, I didn't have to go out of my way, and I was just sightseeing, But
You can go there
but
and grab
seeing
coffee or something.
but seeing the people that are there at 10 in the morning, that's on another level. Like, it's
Oh,
you see the
That-
problems.
It-
That's
it's
on
different.
addiction for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they say it's actually one of the worst addiction you can, like, meaning
Oh,
like one
yeah.
of the hardest to like drop. Or,
Get
and
rid
when I
of,
was
yeah.
younger, I was like, dude, come on. I mean, drugs and stuff like. But apparently, really, it's one of the worst addiction on the level, because like
Yeah,
that's all
it's
you
scary.
think about, and it's just like that's what. And I've seen it, like as you said, you come in the morning at certain places or whatever, and the person's just always there, So it's
just the same guy
it's
like
scary,
sitting
actually.
there. Yeah.
It's really scary
Yeah.
because like
Johnny's saying recovery is real, though impossible, and I fully agree. And
Oh, yeah.
this
That's
isn't,
right.
this isn't
Yeah,
that's right.
to clown on anyone who's
Oh, no,
unfortunately in those scenarios. But it's
no,
just
but
yeah.
I guess I just wanted to say, like, we always feel like it's happening to others and whatever, and it's not like, but it's definitely possible, and it
then
doesn't.
and then you
Yeah.
gamble on the
Yeah,
amount.
next thing you know, and next thing you know, you're spending hundreds of dollars on knives, like
Yeah.
on virtual knives. So
You would
it's-
never see me at a casino, but then I bought the fucking card, this stupid thing.
Yeah, to be fair, how excited were you when you got the card? That's the thing. That's why it's like
That's
when I
what
would
was
be
fucked
opening
up.
a care, yeah, because you're opening a case, you still have the maybe, like, what if,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And our
Yeah.
brain are made like that, right? You didn't even started, and you're like trying to picture your life with you winning the thing. Like, you're already there. Yeah, I'm like, personally, I'm like, oh yeah, that knife would be free. Dude, come on, like, you won't get it.
I'm pretty. I've been kind of. I don't want to. Who knows what the future holds? But I've been pretty immune to that sort of stuff because I take losing in those sort of scenarios pretty bad. Like, it pisses me the
Yeah.
fuck off.
Oh, I get that.
So I don't.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't. I feel like I just don't feel like taking the risk because I know it's probably gonna piss me off. I'm like,
Which
fuck
is
that.
the most logical thing, I would say. That's the best way to approach it, as opposed to like somebody like me who's like,
That's Chris has a great point in chat. We're, talking about like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards and stuff. Like all that is like gambling.
It is. It
Just
sure
like
is.
opening packs whatsoever.
It's like worse than trying to describe like playing music to family.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
For
do you have
sure.
a job? Well, I'm touring. Well, is that a job? Kinda.
From what I read online, your parents were pretty cool with it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
It
awesome
was-
though.
Yeah, my mom just sent me off. She's like, "Go do it. Fuck it." Yeah,
That's rare, I think. I could be wrong, but I think
yeah.
it's rare. I think it's rare.
I
Usually
was
you
I was
say, "I'm
touring
gonna
in
do-"
high school. Yeah, It
Wow,
was-
yeah, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Shouldn't have been allowed to do that, but I did.
Wow.
And she let me go, and it was awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I fully remember in my life telling my parents that I would stop school for the moment and focus on screaming and doing music. And they were like, yeah, that's not true. Like, that's probably a joke. It's really difficult, especially to someone who's not at all into heavier music. Like, I'm guessing some parents maybe, if they made music, if they love stuff back from the day, heavier stuff, they get it a little more. But when you have parents that really, they hear a bit of screaming and they're like, it's harder to
of course.
explain, right? But it's cool that you did that in high school, dude. That was literally my freaking dreams, traveling with your friends and stuff like that.
It was. I got lucky, man. Like, my mom was like my biggest influence when it came to music growing up, and like she put me onto like Hatebreed, but also put me onto like Linkin Park and like Slipknot and like all like the old school like new metal stuff. Like, I grew up in a pair of Jinkos. Like, I wasn't like, I was never just like a normal kid.
But you might
like,
have one of the coolest moms on the planet, though. Just
she's
hearing
dope.
That.
she is dope. Yeah,
she's
she
part
was
of
like,
the. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. I would say she was like doing like my makeup and my nails and like just like letting me be me through my whole life. And I think that's like, that was important. I think that was a big, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be here with you guys. I wouldn't be making music.
That's
probably.
so
I would be doing,
cool.
I'd be doing some bullshit,
So total support basically on being you, focus.
100%.
No judgment, just like you're being like that's an easy thing to say, but it's so rare to really get
that.
Exactly, and it's so cool that you had that. So she's a big part of why you were tuned in stuff that, because you're a bit younger than us, right? Like, not to say we're old, but we're old.
Yeah, we are.
And it's like, I mean, there's still like an 8 years difference, but you still were listening to the same stuff, right? So she's a big part of the reason why you did, I'm guessing.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like all of really everything musically was all her. Like, she just sent me a picture of me with my first drum set like recently, and it's like, she's like, I got all the negatives and stuff, like, we got to go through it, and it's just like me with like a little fucking like snare drum and a cymbal, but I was like, I don't even think I was walking yet, but I was like holding drumsticks and like clacking at the drums.
That's so sick.
So she's always, I think the one thing that she hated is she got me a guitar once when I was a kid, and there's a Cold Chamber video of them playing Ozfest, and he would like take the guitar and like flip it over and like go like this on a monitor. Right? And then like scrape the guitar on the monitor to make the cool noise or whatever. But the monitors, like, they're fuzzy on that like outside. Not the cinder block that was outside of my house. That wasn't fuzzy. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, yeah, Cold Chamber. Yeah, she was pissed. Yeah. That was like the one thing she didn't support so much. But the rest of it, okay.
But it makes such a big difference, right? Like just to feel that support, right? Like like personally, my mom isn't like, she doesn't, but she still, I swear, she still listens to the music I'm making, which blows my mind. She's like, I listen to your song. I'm like, she like hates screaming, and I'm doing like inhales. We're talking like Waking a Cadaver style on like old school Chelsea Green stuff. And she's like, hey, great work on your song. And I'm like, I almost like felt bad. I'm like, you sat like for 3 minutes and you heard that, but like,
you listened to that.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Sometimes she's like, oh, what's your video on YouTube? I'm like, Mom, it was about float face down. Like you listen, like if I skip a little bit of the music part. I'm like, okay, but like the support, like the amount of
she needs to start a reaction channel.
Oh,
that's
man.
what needs to happen.
I'm sure that would be
that would be so
great.
sick.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
I would tap in for sure. I'd be watching.
Dude. That actually it might work. She might do better than my channel actually, but yeah, the support, dude, from a parent, like it's I don't know if they know, but like the difference that it makes, you know, and I'm sure you can attest to that. But it's like it's not it gets you going, right? Just knowing. So I'm glad. It's cool to hear that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I was surprised that she let me escape high school to tour a little bit.
That was very special, wild. But she probably she knew that experience would also be valuable, and she trusted you, knowing, because look at you right now, right? Like you're working, doing whatever you wanted to. So she trusted in
what parents
your capacity.
Want. Yeah.
So it's just
we're doing it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. No, but that's cool.
Did you keep up with drums at all? Because I've seen you on a host of different instruments through different projects and stuff. I haven't seen you a picture of you on drums though.
Oh,
I have one that I could pull up actually. Well, I don't know how I would show it, but yeah,
I believe you. It's chill.
Yeah, there is a So that was my first instrument, was drums. And I there was a point where I had to play drums for Boundaries for like the tail end of a tour, because we had like a fill-in drummer and then he had to go home. So I had to like finish the tour. So there are rare pictures of like me with hair down to my fucking stomach playing drums. Yeah. Deep cuts in a Google Drive somewhere, but I could find them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know because it's just, to me, you know, because you sing, scream, play bass, play guitar.
It's already wild.
It's kind of, but it's kind of like the recipe for the one-man band, right? Like being able to, or at least I think like being able to understand what other instruments do, right?
Of course, yeah.
To be able, I think in composing, like people that have the experience of multiple instruments like that, and guitar and bass, sure, one could say there's more similarities and maybe less of an impact there, but
of course.
For sure, being able to know what actual drum parts sound like, I'm assuming, is an asset.
Especially with working with people, right? Because like you understand each perspective within the band, and like you have a certain knowledge in it. So it's not like you don't have, like, they don't have to explain, like you get it, you're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna do that. You have a different perspective. It's very valuable, in a band.
Rare,
I think.
Also, I think that's the main thing, right? I don't think many people play guitar and do vocals.
Yeah.
It's
rare.
Play drums.
It's usually one or the other. Really, usually, it's rare.
Yeah, I think I what do we say? Not blame, but thank. I thank the ADHD through my life on that one. Because I would have like
ADHD is to blame for certain things, but not for that.
But this we thank this one, just because like I would like full send one instrument, learn it, and then be like, ugh, I don't want to do this anymore. I wonder what it'd be like to play guitar, and then like I just go back and forth. But yeah, the reason I ended up getting good at drums was because of Rock Band, and I wanted to the video game, and I wanted to FC This Is Exile by Whitechapel.
Okay.
I really wanted to full combo it, and I don't think I did.
Doesn't seem like you did, the way you're talking about it.
No, but it was cool because like I got the like a headphone splitter, and I plugged it into the drums, so then you could put two of the single pedals and make them double pedals.
Cheating the system.
And
okay.
That's right. But it gave me like that hand-eye foot coordination that I needed. And I think that, like, I'm telling you, man, video games, like, throughout life, like Guitar Hero, like, I'm like good at Guitar Hero. So like I think that helped me like transfer over to guitar and be like I can move my fingers in that way, you know.
I feel like that
shit
shit fucked me up more than anything else. Like my brain doesn't compute the translation between the two. Like it's I don't know.
It's like drums is great when you really pay attention and you because like when I do music I program it, which obviously you know is a completely different game than playing it. But when I play, it's like I'm gonna start well. So I'm gonna do, and after a while, I focus too much on my legs. So I'm like I'm just like, oh my god. Or if I focus too much here, I'm like, what am I doing here? It requires so much coordination. It's mind blowing how much, as opposed to like a guitar, something that your entire focus is here. It's like you're doing so much at the same time. A little bit like the piano with both hands, I would compare it to. It's different, but like in that sense,
right. Doing completely different things.
Yeah, it's crazy. You need to be wired for that.
Yeah, and again, thanking ADHD, man. I feel like that it fucked me up the right way for certain things, you know.
There's some advantage to it.
Yeah, I could hard focus on certain shit and like just learn it. Like I have to learn it. Like once I'm in there, I gotta know it.
Obsess until
yeah. It's like a hyperfixation thing. You just like you gotta get it down. Once you get it down, you're like, okay, fuck, this is boring. On to the next thing. And then now you're playing a different instrument or you're playing a different game, you know.
And you constantly need challenge, you know, on a daily basis. I get that. I'm exactly like that. Can be good, but also you can spend 12 hours on a small detail. So it depends on how you see it. But
dude, honestly, I think that's why this project specifically has been like a cool, like I feel like I'm like what's the word? Like not like a step up, like a personal step up, because like I was able to write this, put it together, put some designs together, and then we were just like impatiently waiting to release it. Like it wasn't like the time frame wasn't me like nitpicking things and like trying to make sure it was like really good and like
you didn't overthink
make sure everything's perfect. Yeah, it was just like this could be sick. Let's just do it, and then we just made it happen and we put it out.
That's hard. When you're not wired that way, it's hard to get into that headspace. I feel you on that. It's cool once you have a lick of it. You're like, oh wait, that was actually kind of fun. I can have fun while doing this. Oh, okay. But it's hard. It's hard when you're not wired that way.
Letting go is so tough. Just to be like, okay, that's it. It's done.
Dude,
it's
I will say I did hold on to the songs for a little bit, like in terms of like mentally like putting it on Bandcamp or like whatever. But then there's a point where I was just like, all right, fucking DistroKid, fucking this, that. But then I put it on DistroKid on a Friday, which is stupid because they like don't work on weekends or some shit. And then like, I think that's the whole thing. I don't know.
Now you know it's okay. Next demo we get, we'll get it all on the same time.
Exactly.
But
there will be more.
It's out now everywhere as of today, so we're good.
That's right.
That's in the past now. It's up on Spotify. It's on Apple. It's on all.
Yeah,
the things.
It's on iTunes. You still use iTunes? It's there. I don't know what's all the other shit. I don't know. There's an option. There's an option to put it on Roblox.
Your volume. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, Roblox. Okay,
dude.
Hell yeah.
What if we put it on Roblox? That'd be crazy. Dude, but I didn't click that. But
you're missing out, man.
You could have
some shows on Roblox.
Yes, sir.
Get some
hearing your
Robux
music in Roblox.
Or some sort of like wrestling or fighting game with
that would be sick.
with people that with music that makes you want to fight people. It kind of makes sense.
By the way, I'm going to finish with that, but like your music talking about game would fit so well with a fighting game. Like, I don't know if you guys remember Def Jam Fight for New York or something like that.
Yep.
Like, it would be so sick. That's the image that came to mind. And
that's amazing.
Directly.
Holy shit.
So
yeah, I used to play all like the old school like backyard wrestling games that had like ICP in it. So you like fight like Violent J or some shit and like throw people through tables, and it was super silly, but it was sick.
Are they still making games like that? I don't think so, right? They're not really making
I wish. I don't know. Whoop whoop. That's right, Johnny.
That's right.
Whoop whoop. Turn it up. I have an ICP shirt in there somewhere in my closet, an old school ICP shirt.
There we go.
Hey.
Fago's delicious.
What's coming up? What can we plug before we let you go? Because this was really cool, but we've been running for a minute now. So
have we been yapping? We've been yapping.
We've been yapping, but that's the goal of the show. That's what we do here. But
that's what we do.
But I'd love if you've got anything to shout out, anything you're working on, you can plug anything. It doesn't have to even necessarily be Damage Over Time related. Whatever you've got going on.
All right, let's see. Shout out Andy, shout out The Spoke, shout out Girl of Glass, shout out Landry. Let's see, World of Warcraft, you're dope. RuneScape, I guess you're cool. Yu-Gi-Oh, you're sick. What else? Shout out Mom, shout out Kalina, shout out what else is on my desk? Fingerboarding's dope.
Oh yeah.
Fucking I don't know.
Shout out gambling.
No, fuck that. Okay, but no, what I will say is I am super grateful to be a part of like this, this new kind of revival thing. And not even necessarily for the fact that it's like a revival of stuff that like we went through already, but it is so cool seeing like people be themselves, and it's refreshing because a lot of the times people kind of get caught up in like the fashion contest of music and being the cool person, and I think if people are like that, you could tell. And it's just not cool. And I think that the fact that people are like actually being themselves and doing stuff for them and putting out something that they made on GarageBand and being stoked that it has like 100 listeners, that is fucking sick. And these young cats are literally selling out venues, and it's incredible. And it's rare. What we have right now in this little niche of a scene is rare, and I'm just grateful to be a part of it. And keep being you, keep being yourself. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Do you?
That might be
I feel like I got a clap right now. That was like the motivational speech and everything. I fucking love it.
I'm hiding.
I'm being on The Office, but if we ever do some Dundies award or something for the year, you might win the best outro of a guest that we had. It was really well said.
No, but dude, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was kind of out of the blue, like because all this is all new, whatever. But I was like, I want in on this stat. So I'm glad we could do this, especially at this time, and we'll have to have you back on.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
It was a yap session, but there's plenty more yapping we could do. So
there's so much shit we could talk about. So I'm down. I'm always down.
It would be cool. Yeah, if you want to come back, or if you have new music you're playing, or whatever, it would be awesome just to reinvite and chill out.
We got a lot of stuff coming up. So yeah,
we're excited.
Eyes peeled, I guess.
Hell yeah.
What's the meme? Big things coming.
Big things coming. Yeah,
that's
announcement
right.
soon. Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled. Yeah.
Actually,
things
though, not like a meme, but like for real. I'm serious.
There you
It's
go.
go time. We're making it happen.
All right, man. Have a great rest of your night, my man. We'll keep in touch, all right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of WoW to play.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to raid.
Go get that raid.
That's
we go.
right. I gotta get some gear. It's go time.
Let's go.
There we go. All right. Have a great night,
Take care, man.
Peace, peace, peace.